This is the Global Economic Scrap Metal Commodities and Recycling Report by BENLEE Roll-Off Trailers and Gondola Trailers, August 19, 2019. U.S. steel production fell to 1.867 million tons on U.S. continued slow growth, mainly due to a strong consumer and combined with weak manufacturing. Oil rose to $54.93 a barrel on continued very slow global growth and OPEC reducing shipments to the U.S. to get our inventories down. U.S. inventory levels are key to global oil prices. U.S. oil production was no change at 12.3 million barrels per day, matching the all-time record on great shale oil production. But relatively low oil prices are creating financial problems for drillers. Iron ore fell to $92 a ton on continued global manufacturing slowing. Scrap steel number one, heavy melt, rose to $248.33 as slow global growth continues. Hot rolled coil steel fell to $29.30 on slow demand growth and on weak iron ore prices. Copper was no change at $2.59, near the multi-year low on global slowing in the manufacturing sector. Aluminum rose slightly to 79.5 cents, remaining very low due to global economic slowing, while scrap prices remain depressed on slow Chinese demand and excess automotive scrap. China's July industrial production increased by 4.8%, which is good, but the weakest in 17.5 years. Manufacturing and mining fell, especially textiles, steelmaking, and chemicals. Transportation equipment in China rose. Note, China's total economic growth is about 6.2% per year versus the U.S. running at about 2.5%. June's Eurozone, a market about the size of the U.S., had industrial production fall the most in 6 months, 2.6 behind last year, with slow German exports to China being one of their key problems. All 5 U.S. recessions in the past 40 years have been led by an inverted yield curve, when the U.S. 10-year government bond is paying less interest than the 2-year government bond. This briefly happened last Wednesday. That's not good news. July's U.S. core inflation, which excludes food and energy, rose to 2.2% in total, though total inflation was actually 1.8%. August's consumer sentiment fell to the lowest level since January based on heightened consumer uncertainty about future financial prospects, with concerns over government excess spending, the tariff war causing price increases, and recession fears. July's Small Business Optimism Index rose on expectations of better business conditions and higher retail sales. Plans to create new jobs and make capital outlays also improved. A good report. July's U.S. retail sales rose a pretty good 0.7%, but an even higher 1% when excluding volatile items like vehicles, gasoline, building supplies, and food services. Gasoline and clothing rose nicely, as did online sales, actually helped by Amazon's Prime Day, but automotive purchases dropped a big 0.6%. Overall, though, a solid number. Wall Street's Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 207 points to 26,278, now just up 1% in the past 12 months on the escalating China trade war hurting global growth and U.S. recession fears. Many do not know we have a large growing spare parts operation led by Brian Lucas with same-day shipment of parts for roll-off trucks, lugger trucks, roll-off trailers, and dump trucks and trailers of all manufacturers. Related, we are major distributors of roll-right tarp systems and parts. Call us for complete systems, motors, arms, and more. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions. We hope all have a safe and profitable week.